Okay, welcome everybody. This is Robin from Western Mass, and it is April 25th, 2021. This is the Morgellons conference call of the week, and I am thrilled to be here with you guys. So, as many of you know, I struggled for quite a few years with infestations that came into my house of bed bugs, mites, springtails, and fleas, and they all are vectors for Morgellons, which, you know, took me a long time to figure out. First of all, I couldn't believe that I had more than one infestation, and then, you know, I had never heard of Morgellons, and so I was ready to burn my house down, and I was filled with hopelessness, and I asked my pastors to pray for me at my church, and they prayed for creative solutions. And the next day I found Richard and his book and this meeting and started to get my life back. It's been a challenging journey. It's not easy, but it works if you work it. And so, you know, I'm here because I want to give back and hopefully help other people get their life back as well. Now, Richard is a very unique person because he doesn't just like read articles and, you know, make stuff up. He has actually been in the trenches with us. He has gone through this stuff. He found the diet through 2 years of trial and error, which is really the foundation of the protocols, and makes a huge difference in people's lives if you read the diet carefully and do it. And he's on the 11th edition of his book, because as we find things and as his research finds new things, he updates it. So I think the 10th edition is great. I'm looking forward to the 11th. But anyway, so here's Richard, and welcome to the call.
Thank you, Robin. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you, everyone. Keep coming back every Sunday. If you know, this is a conference call. It's a working conference call for the people who are in the program. If you're very new and just joined, then it won't be appropriate for you necessarily to share your experiences, except those that you might have had with the medical community to get here. But like I said, this is actually a program now. If you're looking for a show and entertainment, you want to get here about maybe 10 minutes of 4 when Ethel is on. She does a fantastic pregame show. She will have you laughing. It's phenomenal. So please tune in 10 of, get in a frame of mind so that by the time we get here, we can go to work. What are we going to talk about this week?
The diet.
The diet. What diet is that? What is the paleo diet? Is that what we're going to talk about? Yeah, paleo. No. We're going to talk about that one?
No, well, we may mention gluten-free, lactate-free, paleo, but those are not the diet.
Well, how about the caveman diet? That's a healthy diet.
There are tons of healthy diets out there, organic, but that's not what starves parasites. And I like how you named the diet in your book the King Diet, and because, you know, it is king of diets if you want to get rid of parasites and Morgellons.
Wow. So those other diets that are popular that you hear and read about and just eating healthy is not going to do it for us, is it?
No. Unfortunately, no. And a lot of them will make things worse, actually, because they have things on them that activate the parasites.
Wow. And so there are many people that when they hear the word diet and health, that, you know, obviously we want to have a healthy diet, they somehow think that just about any healthy diet, well, and it makes sense, because if you go to any of the doctors, the LLMD doctors, the Lyme Literate Medical doctors, Dr. Saverly, Cornish, Dr. Bransfield, any of these physicians, they will tell you to eat a healthy diet. And all right, that means vegetables, that means protein, and unless you're a vegan or vegetarian, that means meat, whatever. And it means having fat, right? Those are the three basic things for a healthy diet, right? Fat, protein, and we need carbohydrates too, right? So we need carbs. So that's it. Four things, and we got a healthy diet, right? That's all we need, right? We stay away from refined white flour. We stay away from gluten, grains, and things like that, and we stay away from sugar and sweets and things, sweet chocolates and stuff like that. And we got a healthy diet. That should be it, right?
Well, that's what people seem to think.
Yeah. And man, are they ever disappointed. And what do? They call you and say, what do they say? They call you and say what?
They say, the diet doesn't work. They say, when can I go to stage 2? I've been on this diet forever. They say, I'm taking all these vitamins and I'm eating all organic. What's the problem?
And so what is the problem, Robin?
The problem is those things aren't on the diet.
They're not on the diet. I mean, can I have a Tic Tac breath mint?
No.
No. I mean, I imagine that you can have Tic Tac breath mints on any of those healthy diets, right?
Probably. I mean, it's like this one tiny little
thing that's, 3 calories or something like that. And how can that possibly be an issue? Salt, for instance. Wow, all these diets, you can use salt, right?
Right, but...
Diamond salt. You can use diamond salt.
Sugar in it.
Oh, I can't use salt. Oh, my God. Oh, man.
Sea salt. Grind your own sea salt.
Yeah, I have a grinder and put sea salt in it. That's the way to go. So, yeah, it's the king diet. It's not just any diet. And it can be the healthiest diet, or it can be the most unhealthy diet. It's up to you, kind of. Hamburger is on the diet. And you can eat all the hamburgers you want, but if you go to McDonald's, ask them just for the burger without the bun, and just get the tomato and the lettuce, and not the American cheese. Stay away from the special sauces, and take your own horseradish and do that. But yes, the diet is imperative. It's important, and if you make one little mistake, like having a Tic Tac breath mint, you're going to lose any progress that you may have made for hours. Have a marinated steak.
Days.
Well, here, let's have a marinated steak. How about that? What are we talking about? Maybe a week. A week of progress. Yeah. So, okay. Vegetables. How about artichokes? How about broccoli? Not broccoli.
Brussels sprouts.
Brussels sprouts. How about those? Artichokes, Brussels sprouts?
Nope.
Nope.
Asparagus.
That's one I was trying to think of. Asparagus, very healthy. I don't know why, but the darn bugs love them. You see, there is absolutely no theory to this diet. So don't ask me what the theory is. Ask the bugs. Ask the organisms. I don't know.
It's a practical working diet. We don't always know why it works. We just know it does.
All I know is I was at wit's end. I was, so for a long time I was managing my issues with massive amounts of garlic, taking the garlic little capsules, and then it got to a point where that wasn't enough, up to like 250,000 international units a day, and I was at wit's end. And the stage 1 of the diet, I didn't know about. And a friend said, you know, why don't you try diet? And I was ready to tell a friend to go jump off the bridge, because that's the last thing I wanted to do. See, my specialty, my profession at that time was weight management. And I focused on instructing people how to deal with emotions and food, because many people eat when they're frustrated, when they're angry, when they're depressed, when they're happy, when they want to reward themselves. And by managing emotions, and the last couple of weeks we talked about depression, and I introduced some of the methods of dealing with emotions. So anybody on the call who is dealing with depression, you know, put the bugs away for a minute. All right, that's gonna be a challenge. But then we have this thing called depression, you know. So you want to separate the two. You want to, okay, put the organisms over here for a while, and then deal with the depression. And listen to the last two meetings that we had, which we got into depression, and handle that as a separate issue. Don't let them get together, you know, separate them. So my approach was never use a diet to shed weight. So we don't lose weight, because if you lose something, you got to go find it. So we never say, I lost 10 pounds. Oh, where'd it go? We got to go find it. You know, so diet was not in my. And when this person said try a diet, you know, my thinking was about shedding weight. And, you know, but I had nothing to lose. Because I was up against a wall with these organisms, as most people are. I may have been as panicky as many people are. Many people, one of the issues is we get panic-stricken because they're all over the house. By the time we discover that we are impacted with Morgellons and other skin parasites, they're all over the house. The house is contaminated. The car is contaminated. Your clothing are contaminated. The people you live with can be contaminated. Some of them may be suffering. Some of them may not. Some of them may feel nothing, and you may be the only one suffering. But suddenly you're enveloped with this thing, and you have no way out. Diet? Well, I tried everything else. I'd been to doctors and sulfur drugs and everything. And yes, everything works for a couple of days. Yeah, even the stuff you get in the pharmacy works for a couple of days, and you think, hey, finally, I got some peace. And then all hell breaks loose again. So I said, all right. I was familiar with using an elimination diet to figure out what allergies people have. And we often did that in my stress management center to eliminate food allergies. So I had some understanding about that. And what I did was, okay, I don't know why I chose eggs. So I decided I would just have eggs. No butter, no nothing, just fried eggs, and I ate them, and I was amazed that I had little, if any, activity. So I ate eggs for a couple of days. My mother was also impacted by the organisms at that time, and we had lived together in a mother-daughter situation in our home. It was 2 separate units, but we did eat together. So we both had eggs, and that was amazing. So, boing! There's something going on here. In fact, many people who have a doubt as to whether diet has anything to do with it, hey, just fast for 3 days. Eat nothing, but I have to, the FDA tells me that before you start my diet or accept any of my recommendations, you are to thoroughly discuss them with your physician to make sure they do not interfere with any health problems you're presently experiencing. So before you go on the fast for 3 days, it's something you want to look into with your doctor. That's what I'm supposed to tell you.
Also, Richard, if someone's going to fast and they think it's okay to have like broth, most of the pre-made broths that you buy in the store are not on the diet. You have to make your own bone broth, or there are a couple that you can buy that don't have ingredients that will activate things, but you can't just use a bouillon cube and have a cup of broth.
Absolutely. But a true fast is no food, only water. Only water for 3 days, and you will notice that your body gets less active. I mean, they're still in your environment. You're still going to feel them around you, but you're not going to be the walking, talking, breathing machine for those 3 days. So if you doubt that food has anything to do with it, talk to your doctor under his supervision. Go on a 3-day fast. And the reason we want to do doctor supervision, because when you're on diet, there's a ketosis, ketones, things like that could be, a real big problem health-wise, could kill you. So now the AMA requires that while I'm doing this, that we tell you that we're not here to cure, to treat. So we don't treat these organisms. We don't treat you for them. We don't cure you. We don't mitigate the problem. We don't even diagnose the problem. What Robin and I and Ethel, what we're here to do is to educate you and send you to references such as Dr. Saverly's book or research projects that have been published in PubMed to back up the things that we say. So we are here. We are allowed to educate you how to clean them out of your body. That's through the diet. I don't know how or why, but the diet has a cleansing effect. How to clean them out of your skin. That's where they've been residing. You may have layers and layers of skin that needs to be gotten rid of, and it could take weeks and even months for all of that skin to shed and get rid of. And we're here to instruct you how to get them out of your environment. Clean them out of your environment using various disinfectants and techniques. And we're here also to inform you of the supplements, the targeted supplements. We don't just pick supplements. I don't just pick supplements out of the air. The targeted supplements to build immune functioning and get your health back. That's what our purpose is. So diet. The amazing thing was, after several days, I found that eggs, I was on cloud 9. No itching, no biting, and I said, okay, I'm on the right track here, I hope. And then, okay, from there on, it became the utilization of a diary. So if you're new to this program, first thing you want to do is get a diary. Now, the diet is very precise, but not everybody is exactly the same. So there are sometimes idiosyncrasies. For instance, coffee, well, you have to be careful. If you go to Starbucks, and many of the coffee beans are soaked in what? Oil. Oil. They soak them in oil. Okay. Now, all right, let's talk about oil. Fat. Fat is one of the things your body needs. You need fat. So typically, just about anything in terms of cottonseed oil, peanut oil. Now, I don't know about cottonseed oil. Let me take that one back. I mean, I don't know if that's, I know they, okay, so you can have olive oil, you can have all these different oils, and they're regarded as fat. You can have margarine, that's regarded as fat. But when it comes to the King diet, we're limited to what, Robin?
Rice bran oil.
Rice bran oil. It happens to be the healthiest oil of all of them, by the way. It's got the highest flash point. You can read about it. It's got so many things that it beats the pants off of olive oil, really. So it's a very healthy oil. What other? Yes.
Well, I just wanted to say, I had someone call me today, and they said they were diabetic, so they couldn't eat rice bran oil because rice turns into sugar. And I looked it up, and in a 17-day, well, this was a study in mice, but from Healthline, in a 17-day study in mice with type 2 diabetes, I didn't even know mice had diabetes, rice bran oil significantly lowered blood sugar levels by increasing insulin levels. So
conspiracy theories. People fall for these conspiracy theories, back in March, of last year, back in March of last year, there was a theory out there that they were infecting people with Morgellons through the COVID test that they stick up your nose. Somebody saw one of the fibers move on it and filmed it, and it went viral, and all of a sudden everybody's conspiracy theories. It's amazing. So rice bran oil is the healthiest oil. It does not break down to sugar. Does not. What other oils?
What other oils?
Yes. What else? Fat. What other fat?
Butter.
Butter. What kind of butter?
Lard.
What kind of butter?
Well, the best kind is Kerrygold, I think.
Well, the answer is real butter, not hydrogenated.
Sorry, real butter, real
butter.
And you know what else? You can give real butter to your pets, and their coats will be shiny, and they will be healthier than they ever did. I put a tablespoon of butter in my cat's food every day, and he has the shiniest coat, and he's bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
Okay, so for a bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and it'll make you bright out. Okay, bushy-tailed too. Okay, so real butter. And what else?
Vegetable lard.
Lard. Well, it's not vegetable lard. It's meat lard.
Oh, okay.
Lard that you get from animal fat. That's what it is. So you can have those things. Now, gosh, I remember back in the 90s, it was a big thing about don't eat so much bacon. Make sure you get rid of all the oil that you can because of the fat and the cholesterol thing. That was another conspiracy theory. It's very much like Popeye the Sailor Man with spinach to boost your iron. A guy who did the publication was a decimal point off, so everybody thought spinach suddenly had all this iron. So likewise, they find out that animal fat is not the big bad cholesterol issue that they went around preaching that it was for a long time.
In fact, I can say, you know, I had somewhat high cholesterol, and I was never on any cholesterol drugs or anything, but with the King diet, my cholesterol has gone down, my blood sugar has gone down, which was never really that high anyway, but it actually, all of these things improved.
It's amazing. I have my own medical reports in my book that substantiate what you're saying because it's a healthy diet. Absolutely. Everything about it is healthy. So, okay, we've handled the oils. What else should we talk about next? Maybe
supplements?
No, we handled the oils on the diet. What's next? Should we talk about vegetables?
Yes.
Okay. So what vegetables are good?
It's easier to talk about what vegetables are bad because so many vegetables are good.
That's true. So let's name the bad ones.
Okay, carrots.
Carrots. Right. Corn.
Asparagus, Brussels sprouts, avocados for stage 1, and maybe stage 2. There's another one that you mentioned earlier. I
did. No, I think that's it. Asparagus, yeah, we talked to, yeah, basically those. I mean, zucchini is good, zucchini squash, these are all fine.
Potatoes in stage 1.
Potatoes, no, we do stage 2. Red potato. The only potato we do is red, and it's stage 2.
Right.
So, yeah, so that's very easy. Vegetables, very easy. Leafy green vegetables, eat them and eat them and eat them. But what do you put on a salad, though? I
make these great. Well, let me just tell you what my go-to salad is right now. So I make these huge salads, and I eat them all week. And I have red and green cabbage, radishes, spinach, kale, cucumbers, black olives, which you never tested because you're not crazy about them, but they never affected me on stage 1.
Well, we would do that with caution. That's right, where you want to keep the book.
Black olives, caution.
Yeah.
Cucumbers, tomatoes, and lots and lots of fresh garlic chopped up, and sea salt, And then for dressing, I would just put rice bran oil and lemon juice or fresh lemons.
Fantastic. Now, I never used the rice bran oil or the lemon or anything like that. I would flavor mine with the red pepper flakes and oregano and salt and pepper. Made sure it wasn't diamond salt, and that was to me a very tasty way of eating them. But you did mention that olives, and which made me think of mushrooms.
Oh, right, that's right. There's only, what were those, the black mushrooms?
The black mushroom, you know, the typical ones that you get in the store for making salads or you get on pizza, I don't know what they're called, but they are not on the diet. But strangely enough, it seems that it's a Chinese variety, a black mushroom, and there are some others that are as well. There's a red mushroom that's in coffee. I know there's a brand of coffee that is based on a red mushroom, which is okay. So you want to be careful. This is why we want you to have a diary, because, you know, in those 2 years, there are so many foods, and I didn't get to test them all. So instead of writing me and saying, hey, well, can I have the brown mushroom, for instance? Well, I don't know. Test it. You got a diary? You get yourself free and test it, and then let me know whether it's good or not, and I'll add it. So, okay, so we got vegetables. If we missed anything a little later on, people can text you or call Chris or text Chris, and we can have them come on and ask questions about the diet. So please have those numbers handy. Have your questions handy that you want to ask about the diet. Actually, every program we do, since this program is based on that diet, since this diet has been declared by many people as a cure. It's not a cure, but many people have gotten on the diet, made it work, and felt cured. That's how powerful this diet is. And anything else we do just brings your life back so much faster. But so if you have any questions, please text Chris, text Robin, and we'll be glad to have you share and ask those questions a little later after we get through. The next thing is protein. So what are we going to have for protein?
Well,
yes.
Wait, I have a question about rice bran oil that someone has texted me.
Okay.
I don't know who it is, but so rice bran oil initially, and still, I think organic rice bran oil, the Japanese use it, and they use a different technique that is healthy, but many commercial manufacturers of rice bran oil use hexane to extract it, which is a what is it? It's
a chemical,
petroleum-based
right
product, which is not super healthy, even though the World Health Organization and American Heart Association and other international food and health organizations recognize rice bran oil as a healthy oil because of its well-balanced fatty acid content.
Well, that's an excellent point. You know, if the person who texted you has a source that we can get organic, because I researched it about a year or so ago, and I could not find organic rice bran oil anywhere. Really? Anywhere. So, which totally knocked my socks off. So I would love to find a source for organic rice bran oil, because all the other oils we have in our store are organic. So I would love to find that source.
You can get organic cold-pressed rice bran oil on Amazon. I'm looking at it right now on my computer.
Well, that may, you know, I haven't looked for it in about a year or two, so I would I'll need to take a look at that and find out who the supplier is and get in touch with them.
Right.
We're always improving, but I was just amazed that when I did the research a couple of years ago, I just could not find anybody. Okay, so protein, that's what we were talking about. What kind of protein can we have? Now, this is important for the vegans and the vegetarians.
do you again want to talk about first what we can't have? Because that's also easier.
Okay. What can't we have?
We can't have oily fish.
Okay.
And we can't have bacon with sugar.
What kind of bacon can we have?
Well, some low-salt bacons have no sugar, and some organic bacons have no sugar, but you have to read the labels.
Yeah, it seems that low-sodium bacon is okay. Definitely nothing cured with honey.
Right, right. I mean, there are low-sodium bacons that have honey or sugar in them, so you really do have to read
You need to read the label.
And there are organic bacons that have honey and sugars in them also, so it's just, you know, hit and miss. But and you can't have beans unless you soak them overnight, is what we've been told by vegetarians who are doing the program.
Yeah, so but you want to check that with your diary to make sure. You know, when you test the food, the idea is you get to the point where I kept a itch. What do you call it? Well, if I felt no itching, my score was 0 to a half. The worst it could be was 6. That was just my range. You can do 0 to 10, doesn't matter. And when I was down to around a half, I considered that's pretty darn good. So you get to that level, and then test any food you want. And test any foods that you want to test. You want to test in the early part of being in this program. You don't want to test any foods 2 or 3 months from now, because 2 or 3 months from now, there's the time dilation thing kicks in. So, for instance, if you're in stage 1 and you're new to this program and you get to a point where, gee, you're around 0.5 on your itch scale, and you have a tic-tac within 15 minutes, it's going to kick up to 4 or 5. But 3 months from now, that tic-tac's not going to do anything until maybe 3 days later, and then it'll kick you up. So it's the time dilation factor. I hope everybody understands that. It's explained in the book. And so sometimes you think you added, this is why you want the diary, because when you get into stage 2 and on to towards the end of stage 2 of the diet, you're going to be looking further back in your diary. Instead of looking 20 minutes back, you're going to be looking 2-3 days back to see what you might have eaten that may have been the problem. So really, I mean, I hate to tell you this, but this is a scientific exploration for each and every one of you. Don't expect it. Boom, boom, boom. I mean, this program works. The diet works. Don't try it. Do the diet, and then I take it one step further. Make it work for you. Make it work. We know it works. Too many people have done it, and we know it works. So we're back on protein. What else can't we have of stage 1 of the diet? So maybe soaking your beans. I never tried that. The beans were not on my diet, but I've been told that if you soak them, that may be good. And that's a great source of protein. That's great for vegetarians and for vegans.
No nuts and seeds.
No nuts, no seeds. No chia seeds, no pumpkin seeds, no seeds.
Right.
No seeds at all. No sesame seeds.
On stage 2, you can have walnuts, and I found I could have pumpkin seeds on stage 2.
So this is where you want the diet, because if you want to try something like pumpkin seeds, okay, try it. How about coffee?
Now, because so many manufacturers and places where you buy coffee put other things in it, I just stopped buying coffee anywhere and made my own plain black coffee with nothing else in it. It says ingredients, 100% coffee, and I have never had a problem.
Yeah, something like 8 o'clock coffee, but as I mentioned earlier, stay away from Starbucks or any place that might soak them in oil. Stay away from decaffeinated at this point. Stay away from any blends. All right, and then keep the diary, because there are some people, like this diary is perfect for 99.5%, but for 0.5%, they can't have coffee at all.
The same thing with tea. If
yes.
you know, I can have, well, I am actually allergic to green tea, but I can have black tea, peppermint tea, cistus tea, sassafras root tea. I mean, I can have a lot of teas as long as they're very plain and they have no other ingredients, and, you know, they're made of, a lot of them, leaves and twigs. So.
Teas, yes, teas in grocery stores, don't even bother. They all have additives. I have no idea why they need to put additives in tea. I don't know.
Huh.
On our store, our online store, we have about 6 brands of tea, or 7. We just added comfrey. I added comfrey because I learned that it helps rebuild bone growth, and I'm working with trying to save a couple of teeth, and I'm just hoping.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So we have green tea, we have lemon tea, we've got spearmint, peppermint, many great teas, and they're all good. Cistus tea, which is probably the best tea in the world because it's so multifunctional. So teas, be careful. If you're not getting them from us, be very wary and very careful. I remember going to a tea place. That's all they did was sell teas, and I bought a drink, and I reacted. You know, why are you polluting your tea? You're supposed to be a tea place, supposed to be perfect. You know, why do they pollute their teas? I don't know. So, back to protein. I have another
diet question that just came in about milk.
Okay, so, let's finish up the protein first, and then. Okay.
Now about the non-oily fishes, like you could have tuna fish in water.
Yes. Tuna fish in water.
And you could make your own mayonnaise with rice bran oil and eggs.
Yes, and there are recipes. There are recipes in Chapter 5 that go into that, and Robin has contributed. She has her own corner of recipes. So there's Robin's corner of so many great recipes that you can make. So being on stage 1 doesn't mean you don't. I mean, you can live like a king. Gosh, you can have crab legs, king crab. You can have lobster. You can have shrimp scampi. I mean, so many great foods. So back to protein.
Okay.
So the nuts are out, except stage 2.
Right.
Beans, if you soak them, perhaps keep the diary. No seeds. How about what else can we go for protein?
Well, I mean, we can have, you know, beef, chicken, pork, lamb, eggs, non-oily fish, so many things.
What about cheese? What about cheese?
Oh. Farmer's cheese or goat's cheese, maybe.
Right.
You got to test it.
Yeah, you got to test it.
And
Farmer's cheese.
Don't have it too often. If it works, don't go crazy with it.
Give the Velveeta to somebody else. You know, get rid of the Velveeta and the American cheese. You know, just no way. Stage 2, you can have most cheeses. And the amazing thing I found was that blue cheese was fine for me. I thought that would be the worst cheese ever.
Huh.
But blue cheese is fantastic.
You know what else that I found? I could eat feta cheese.
Feta, yes, feta is wonderful.
Awesome in salads.
Yes, feta cheese.
So good in salads.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, great. One source of protein, and it's also, well, let's go into carbohydrates. What can't we have?
Everything except rice, millet, maybe. I couldn't have millet.
No?
Possibly rye flour, spelt flour, spelt bread that only has like spelt, salt, and water in it.
And there's a recipe in the book, 2 recipes, in fact, in the book, to make your own.
And you know what? I found online, I found spelt matzah.
Oh, really?
Spelt matzah meal, and today Sunday's my cooking day. I made chicken soup and spelt matzo balls.
Oh, wow. Okay. I'm coming over.
Totally stage one. So cool. So cool.
Great. So, no wheat. Now, even though spelt has gluten in it, spelt is okay with this diet.
It metabolizes differently.
For most people. Again, millet, although Robin could, so this is what I'm sharing. Because 99% can handle millet, maybe 1% can't. So this is where you want the diary.
And the only rice that I could eat was basmati, which is the rice that turns out with the lowest sugar value.
And
I tried every rice there was, and the only one that I could eat without reaction was basmati rice.
Now, what is the rice that has the highest protein? Is it the basmati? We were talking about when we were talking about the.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
I know Ethel would know the answer. Is that Ethel? Do you know which rice has the highest protein?
I'm afraid not, Richard. I don't. Not right off the bat.
Okay. We did have a vegan lady. Brown rice. Okay. So there you have a mixture. Brown rice, carbohydrates.
Wild rice has the highest protein.
Okay. So there we have, for the vegans, opportunity to get the protein through rice.
Basmati rice has more protein than white rice.
Mm-hmm.
But I think brown rice has more protein than basmati, but brown rice also has a higher arsenic content. All rice has arsenic.
Has arsenic, right. You want to soak them overnight if you can to get rid of the arsenic. So that's what we recommend with your rice, is to soak it overnight, and then you don't want to soak it in your water that's got maybe fluoride in your tap water. You want to soak it in good water, healthy water. So for the vegans, we have rice for protein. If you have, now, my book has an extensive portion in there about Candida. It's not a skin parasite, but it often is a cofactor. And so in the case that you suspect that you are dealing with Candida, you want to stay away from white rice. Okay? Because that breaks down into the sugar and what the Candida like faster than anything else. Oftentimes, if you are dealing with Candida, I know when I had it, and that's long before I ever dealt with parasites, I felt if I ate something, it just laid in my tummy like a piece of lead. It just didn't digest. It was like lead belly, and bloated. And that was how I experienced Candida. So, and by the way, the King diet is the best diet there is for Candida, minus the white rice. There is no better. Okay, we covered protein. Did we miss anything? We got the fat, vegetables, and we talked about carbohydrates. Oh, wow, yeah, we didn't talk about we only talked about the grains of the carbohydrate. Oh, what about all the, isn't fruit carbohydrates? Isn't that a way we get? Oh, man. Look, we got pears, peaches, we get oranges, we got blueberries, elderberries, we got all these beautiful. Oh, what happens? What happens?
Terrible what happens.
It's terrible. Man, if you're a fruit addict, you're in trouble.
So, yeah.
What can we have?
Lemons or limes?
Lemons or limes, that's it.
The amount of sugar, one whole lemon has 1.5 grams of sugar.
So, yeah, so
that's pretty low.
The fruit issue is very easy to discuss. It's what you can have, and it's lemons or lime, and that is it.
Right.
Stage 2, bananas.
And maybe grapefruit. I found grapefruit.
Grapefruit, yep. Grapefruit, bananas, and what?
Green apples.
Green apples. Granny Smith green apples. That's it for stage 2. Stage 1, lemon, lime. That's it.
Towards the end of stage 2, I added blueberries and strawberries in small amounts and did okay with. I made smoothies.
Mm-hmm.
Which brings us to milk.
Milk, the question. So the question about milk is no. No milk on stage 1, except if you go and get lactose-free milk. And
what about if you can only find ultra-pasteurized lactose-free milk?
Well, it's the ingredients that are a problem. The only place I know in my locality is Costco, where they have lactose-free milk with no additives. When I go to the grocery store, they got additives, problems. So let's talk about additives. So the answer is only lactose-free milk without additives, and again, test it. Keep the diary before you add it. Test it to make sure it's good for you.
So what about half and half, though?
Well, half and half, stage 2. I don't know why. The higher the fat content, light cream, stage 2, without additives. When it comes to heavy cream, why in the hell do they put crappy additives in it, like glycerides? Why do they do that?
Huh.
They don't do it in a half and half. Why in the hell we got to do it with heavy cream? So you make your ice cream. When you're in stage 2, you can have ice cream. And you can make your own, or you can use Haagen-Dazs. Haagen-Dazs has several flavors: vanilla, chocolate, vanilla chip. Anything with vanilla and chocolate pretty much is good on stage 2.
When you read ingredients, just know that the ingredients towards the end there are less of. Especially if you're looking at ice creams, look for ones where the sugar is towards the end instead of the beginning.
Right. Anything with OL, mannitol, xylitol, anything with OL on the end is no good.
Right.
Out. Anything with sucrose, sucrose, dextrose, out.
Oh, we didn't talk about stevia either.
Stevia is in, except most of them are out. Now, what do I mean? Ingredients. The stevia that we have in our store is only stevia, organic stevia. Many stevias, do you know why they put sucrose and stevia? Sugar and stevia? I don't understand this. Why do manufacturers screw stuff up?
I don't know. They think people won't like stevia if it doesn't have sugar in it.
I don't know. So they won't trust it or something. It's got to taste sweet. They're afraid stevia won't taste sweet by itself. They got to throw some sugar in it. Whatever. I don't know.
I have one other milk question here. If you
buttermilk. We forgot buttermilk.
Oh yeah.
That's good for stage 1.
Right, buttermilk. You can make your own buttermilk just by adding lemon juice to it.
Yeah, or let it go sour.
Yeah. I have a question. If you're allergic to dairy, what alternative to milk can you have?
Well,
not really.
Black coffee.
You can't have soy milk. You can't have almond milk. You can't have coconut milk. I don't think there is no alternative.
No.
You can take calcium.
One thing I'm not sure about, and that might be guava.
Oh.
So you could test guava. That might be okay. I'm not sure. So that's something. Test it and let me know if guava is good. Okay. Anything else we missed, or when are we ready to go to supplements? Yes. So we're going to go to supplements now.
One other question. What about sour cream?
Sour cream without additives. I don't see any. No.
I think I started sour cream at the end of stage 1.
Maybe. I don't think so. No yogurt. Stay away from yogurt and sour cream until at the end of stage 1, maybe stage 2.
Stage 2, I added sour cream, and at the end of stage 2, I added kefir, which is a yogurt-like drink, because I was making smoothies with bananas and kefir, and I actually, at that point, I added flax seeds and...
Oh, you really tested it, huh?
I did, but I had no reaction. At that point, I was probably well into stage 3, and I just didn't know it.
Right. So you want to be careful. Diary, diary, diary. If you got anything out of this call, it's have a diary. Write it down, and it will repay you 100 times.
And in stage 2 for a dessert, I used to make, I guess it's a Jewish dessert, bananas and cream. So it would be like a chopped up banana with a tablespoon of sour cream and a little bit of stevia on top. And really good.
Great. And you know, now here's an interesting thing. Sugar. If there are 2 organisms that we're dealing with, 2 major organisms, and this is Morgellons and springtails. About maybe 4 or 5 years ago, it seemed that maybe 50% of the questionnaires that evaluated people were dealing with springtails, and 50% had both springtails and Morgellons. Today, it seems that there are probably 90%, between 85 and 90% of the people are dealing with both springtails and Morgellons. Now, Morgellons, when it comes to sugar, it's never again. There is no, maybe at the end of stage 3 you can cheat and have a little sugar. I don't know. But it's like sugar is never ever part of your life. However, if you're only dealing with columbella, stage 2, sugar. You can have sugar. Now,
in moderation.
In moderation, sure. We don't want to go crazy. In moderation, you can have sugar. You can have ginger ale, root beer, stuff like that. That's got sugar in it. If you're only dealing with columbella in stage 2 with Morgellons, forget it. Right. Forget about it. No sugar.
Also, Jill has texted me about brown rice. She said, short grain brown rice has 6 grams of protein. Long grain brown rice is only about 3 or 4. And never get the combo brown rice that has sweet rice because the protein is only 3 grams.
Jill is our vegan consultant, and I should have thought to have her on the call today because I didn't think we were going to get this involved. But we're winging it. We wing these calls. We don't write them up or whatever. We just go. And so thank you, Jill. I appreciate that. And we can open the line up to you later if you'd like to share. Okay. Now, what did we miss?
One more question: is the lactase enzyme in lactose-free half and half a sugar?
I don't know.
I didn't even know there is lactose-free half and half, so...
I never heard of it.
I don't know.
I never heard of lactose-free half and half. I don't know. Any other questions came in? Has anybody texted in to Chris? Anybody texted in to you?
And
before we move into supplements?
If you have an Aldi store near you, going back to bacon, there's a brand called Never Any brand bacon from Aldi's that has no sugar. But there's lots of brands that have no sugar. I get local organic bacon with no sugar.
Yeah. Right. So it's just important that it's low sodium. I don't know why it is, but low sodium also means no sugar in most cases. Again, always read the ingredients. Okay, did we miss anything with foods and drinks?
Nobody texted me, Richard.
Okay. Come on, make Chris busy. He's sitting there waiting for you guys to text him, and so you can come on and ask questions or share your experience with the diet. We love to hear from some of you who have been on the diet and know how well it works for you as well. Some testimonials or questions about it.
Right, right, and I've had in the coaching that I've done, I've had wonderful people, wonderful testimonies where people say the diet is like a miracle, and I can't believe it once they get it right.
Once they get it right. Now we'll move into supplements. Can I take any multiple vitamin?
No.
That was rather terse.
I've been telling this to people all week.
No, damn it. All right, you can take any multiple vitamin you want and suffer the consequences. I mean, suffer. Because if you read the ingredients, and finding a multiple vitamin has been one of my biggest and largest challenges ever. Years ago, we had Rainbow Light, a general formulation that was very close. It had a few things, but it never seemed that the things that were in there were much of an issue for people who were on. And then for the last few years, people are, the vitamin companies, they don't make general vitamins anymore for everybody. They make it for teens. They make it for women in menses. They make it for young, old guys like me. They make it for young guys. They make all the, and none of them actually have any pure ingredients that are not going to be a problem. And I was very fortunate. The people who supply us our Garcillin, the regular Garcillin, the person who put this together is a physician in the UK. He figured out how to stabilize garlic to get the acillin out of it. But he also created our multiple vitamin. And it's probably the only one out there that is only a multiple vitamin. It doesn't have minerals and a bunch of other stuff in it. Not that there's anything wrong with having minerals, but all the other vitamin formulations have stuff in it that is not compatible with the diet. So our Nature's Gift multiple vitamin is actually specifically designed for Lyme disease. Okay, so tell me you don't have Lyme disease. It's also designed for springtail Lyme disease. It's right up our alley. It's the perfect multiple vitamin. I couldn't have lucked out better than to find this multiple vitamin. One a day, and that's it. So do not go to the store and buy other multiple vitamins unless you want to suffer and never get the diet to work for you. Now, minerals. All right, for years we've been using the ionic minerals from coral calcium. They are completely bioavailable. Bioavailable means that it's not a chemical compound. It's not like calcium citrate. Nothing wrong with calcium citrate. I use it. Calcium citrate, magnesium citrate is great for sleeping leg syndrome or whatever, but do not go get that liquid, even if you have it, because there are additives in it that are completely off the diet and will give you a problem. But I use it because I no longer need the diet, and I can use things. Just basically, I personally, Robin introduced me and said I've been in the trenches. Well, let me tell you what my trenches were. Springtails, mites. I don't know what brand, the red mite, the bird mites. I had who knows how many mites. Strongyloides cervicalis. Many years ago there was a guy out there saying nobody's got Morgellons, everybody's got Strongyloides cervicalis. Well, at that time I didn't even have Morgellons. I just had springtails, mites, and Strongyloides cervicalis. And since I got introduced to these things in the course of time, I got experience with skin fungus that ate me up. I was like a red tomato to the point where at one point my legs and the whole body was practically one walking piece of skin fungus. So hot tub rash, Lyme disease, and Morgellons. So I've been in the trench. I've dealt with all of them. I've dealt with the diet, and I've got my life back. Lyme disease almost killed me 12 years ago. I was down to probably 5% functioning in terms of pain and inflammation in my legs. I couldn't write my name, motor coordination. My brain was affected by the Lyme disease. I'm 99.9% today. So I've been into trench. These things work for me, and they work for many other people. We're not here to treat Lyme disease. I have a report, by the way. It's called Lyme Disease Doesn't Have to Own You Anymore. If you think or dealing with Lyme disease, you want to pick up that report, because basic nutrition builds health and immune functioning, and you may not need treatment. So basic nutrition built health and immune functioning for me, and it's bye-bye Lyme disease. And it is that way for many people who are in the program. So we're looking at supplements. We're looking at the multiple vitamin, the minerals. We have two forms of minerals in the store. Both of them are compatible. The bioavailable coral calcium sachets that you put in your water and drink it throughout the day. And then you can take the coral out of the sachet, and you can use it if you have indigestion. It's great. You can put it in your plants and put it down your drain and clean your drain, and put it in your bathtub, and it absorbs toxins from your skin. Many uses. So the coral calcium has many applications. And we have a regular mineral that goes with the multivitamin. All of them in vegetable capsules. We do not use glycerin capsules. I don't buy any source of any product except there's one. We have an iodide that we have in the store if anybody's concerned about Fukushima and the radiation. Unfortunately, I didn't find it's only in a gelatin capsule, but that's not part of this protocol. So then glutathione. We've done a call, I don't know, a couple of months ago about nothing but glutathione. You can go back and look at those calls. Building glutathione is supremely important. There's research studies that says it interrupts and interferes with Morgellons' ability to replicate. So, and then there's 1,000 other reasons for glutathione. And again, do not buy glutathione in the store. It's called reduced glutathione. Do not buy it. That's a glutathione supplement. It has other additives there that are going to feed the parasites. And at best, it's only going to boost your glutathione levels by maybe 30%. So our Max 1 product is not glutathione. It's a glutathione booster. It's a combination of D-ribose and L-cysteine. Now, earlier I said stay away from anything that has oats, like sucrose, dextrose. Well, this D-ribose happens to be a high-quality sugar that is used by the mitochondria, which are like the furnaces in your cell that keep you alive, that produce ATP. So these two ingredients get into the cell and produce glutathione and also protect the cell and feed the mitochondria. And it boosts your glutathione levels by approximately 270%. So to get the equivalent boost, you'd have to go to the store, buy something that's about $20 a bottle. It would cost, and take 15 a day to get the equivalent of what you're going to get from Max 1. We also have nanoglutathione in the store. It's a dropper. You put it under your tongue, but you need to spit it out because it's got orange oil in it and some other stuff that is not compatible with the diet. So you leave it under your tongue for a minute and a half and then spit it out and wash your mouth so you're not consuming those oils that could be a problem with the diet. And then the last thing we have is a psyllin. It's called, we have it garcillin. We have two levels of it. We have regular garcillin, and then we have garcillin 2. And I'm glad to, 3 weeks ago we couldn't get in touch with our supplier of garcillin 2, and I thought that we were forever going to be without it. But fortunately, we should have it in stock on Monday, and it's back in our store. So these are 4 essential, fundamental supplements, if at all affordable, and are very targeted to build the immune functioning and health, and completely compatible with the diet.
And
now,
there's the multivitamin for stage 1 and stage 2 that you have in the store.
Yes, it is the multivitamin and the multi-mineral are both for stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. They're for everybody. Whether you have Lyme disease or not, they're the best, the high-quality vitamins that you can get. Now, you can tell these are real vitamins because when you open up the bottle, you're going to smell vitamin B. It's got kind of a funny odor. That's vitamin B. That's a real vitamin. That's not this fake stuff that you get that they put in these chemicals to, what are those chemicals? We did a blog about 1.5 years ago about some of the stuff they do to change colors in things. So these are fundamental.
Restore.
Okay, now we get into Morgellons. So far what we talked about is fundamental for Morgellons and springtails. Now when we get into Morgellons, we're talking about some other things. So the first fundamental thing that you want to do is boost your boron. Now, you can take a pinch of borax and put it in water and drink that a day, but I don't know. We have it in the store in tablet form. A little 3 milligram tablets, take 3 or 4 a day, and that is your boron. And we have two forms of boron. One is by piping rock, which has got maybe 4 or 5 different variations of boron, and the Puritan Pride, which is less expensive, it's just boron. Now, MSM, the Morgellons organism uses up organic sulfur. So in the store we have MSM capsules. That's to supplement the organic sulfur. In fact, I had one lady who said that MSM cured her just by taking MSM capsules. Now, we don't say cure, but it can be that integral, can be that important. It's part of the protocol. We know that these organisms go for the gut. Because of glyphosate, that's the herbicide put out by Monsanto, which is a natural antibiotic that kills off our flora and the other. So we're being barraged by things that destroy our gut flora. So we have a product, it's called Restore. I think they just changed the name to ION, I-O-N, in the store, but it's specific minerals for restoring the gut. And then we have L-glutamine. Again, this is a natural sugar. It's pure. It's for the mucosa, because with leaky gut syndrome, the mucosa get like this. And by feeding them, they get tight like this. So that's what the L-glutamine is for. It's a sugar specifically utilized by the mucosa. And this is true throughout your body. You have brain-blood barriers, just not in the gut, but elsewhere, in the brain, everywhere. So this feeds the mucosa and strengthens that. Now, we look at the issues. We haven't talked about them here, and we have had programs about them. The complications along with fungal organisms, because many people, maybe 80, 90%, the people who are dealing with Morgellons are also dealing with fungal issues. In fact, a couple of weeks ago we talked about what is Morgellons. Well, some people actually say, and you can go on YouTube and they'll say, Morgellons is fungal. Bullshit. Maybe 90% of us are dealing with fungal organisms, but Morgellons is not fungal.
That's right.
Okay, and so in the protocol, everything there is compatible with the diet. And that's important to build health and immune functioning. And if you want to get detailed recommendations on what, you can read the book and make notes. And by the time you get to the end of the book, you might have pretty much what you spelled out for you. Or you can simply complete the questionnaire that was attached to the email that went out, return it to me just by returning that email with a questionnaire. I will review it. It takes me about 20 minutes to review the questionnaire and provide you with an educated assessment as to whether you're dealing with Morgellons. If you're having filaments and fibers coming out of your skin, that's an indication of Morgellons. Again, I don't diagnose you, but if you read and reference you to Dr. Saverly's book, she identifies Morgellons based on that alone. So I'll provide you an assessment based on other sources and research, and then I'll provide you with detailed recommendations exactly which supplements to build health and immune functioning. Any questions come in? Yes.
I wanted to mention a few things that, so, you know, people, when you're talking about fungus, apple cider vinegar is really important in the bath or soaking your hands or feet, but you cannot ingest it.
Not if you're dealing with more columbolus, springtails. Yeah. Now, if you know that you only have Morgellons and not springtails, apple cider vinegar with a mother, you can consume it. No problem.
Stage
1. Yeah.
Wow.
If you know that you're not dealing with springtails.
Of course, one way to find out is if you ingest it and you have a reaction.
You go nuts, right? Right. Then you keep that diary.
Yeah. Also, the other thing we didn't mention when we were talking about protein is lunch meat that you get at a deli or chickens that are cooked at a grocery store. Those things have sugars and chemicals and all kinds of stuff in them that are not on the diet.
I'm glad you brought that up, because in the book, and I think on the diet, it says that boar's head pepperoni and boar's head, some products are okay. As of 5 or 6 years ago, they were, but apparently they've since added sugar. Yeah. So boar's head is out. I'm sorry. I love boar's head, but I'm sorry to see them go.
I know. And Applewood had a sliced turkey that had no sugar, but I don't know if it's because of the pandemic or what, but no store where I live even carries it anymore. So you, generally speaking, you're going to have to cook your own stuff. You can cook a roast or you can cook a chicken and slice it up and, you know, make spelt bread and have your own spelt sandwiches. But I wouldn't buy deli meat or pre-cooked anything.
Exactly. I agree. 100%. Stay away from it. And when you go to restaurants, when you eat out, you want to, you don't want to say, hey, I have skin parasites and I want to check the ingredients. No, you don't want to say that. You want to say, I have a skin allergy and I need to double check the ingredients. So I like to order this.
Don't say skin, just say allergy.
Yeah, I have allergies. Right. I'm sorry. Don't say skin. I have allergies. And I'd like to make sure that this, what I like to order has exactly what I need. Make sure that because a lot of restaurants use a mixture of butter and hydrogenated. You want pure real butter. And
you can just get sliced lemons on your salad. I used to bring, well, I don't eat out anymore, but I used to bring a small container with rice bran oil, and I'd just ask for sliced lemons on my salad.
What do you do when you go out Chinese?
Rice and broccoli steamed. Actually, I have to say, you know, I have been in stage 3 and I was able to eat a lot of Chinese food. My favorite is shrimp with lobster sauce.
Mm-hmm.
Last week I ordered it and I forgot to tell them no MSG. Oh my God, I had the worst reaction, 3 days of hell.
Oh.
And, you know, but if I had said no MSG, I would have been okay because I've done that before. So, yeah, generally speaking, no Chinese food.
Well, I always, because my family always loved to go to Chinese, and so what I would do before I went, I would take butter and I would put in some spices, and I'd take that with me, whatever I liked, and I'd order everything steamed, the broccoli steamed, the chicken, everything steamed, and then I would add my little concoction. I put in red pepper flakes, I really spiced it up. And that was great for me. So it's important to be prepared and to think ahead.
Right.
To think ahead. You don't want to be like Robin and end up having MSG and suffer for 3 days.
Oh, that was awful. It was just I forgot. I forgot to say it, But, yeah.
Okay, now one quick thing here. I don't want to get into a long discussion. People are concerned about the COVID vaccine. It does have ingredients in it that will activate the parasites. So if you have the COVID vaccine and you notice that the skin parasites get a little more active, well, it's not because you went off the diet. It's because of the ingredients in the vaccine. Now, you decide whether you want to do the vaccine or not. I'm just letting you know that if you have a reaction, it's not a problem other than the fact that it's no different than having a couple of breath mints, something like that. So,
and it only lasts a few days after that.
Exactly. So I don't want people writing me saying, "Oh, but you're after," I don't want to get in that argument. Okay. Anyone else write in any questions or
no, I think
anyone like to share? Open the line up. If nobody is, we'll close this segment.
Go. Jan from Texas.
Okay.
Cannot find spelt bread without sugar.
Well, chapter 5, 2. I mean, it's so simple to make. So simple.
Right, but there's also Berlin Bakery has a sourdough spelt bread. Now, they have 3 kinds of sourdough spelt bread. So, again, you have to read the labels because only one of them has no sugar. And the ingredients in the sourdough spelt bread from Berlin Bakery online is just spelt water and salt. So, yeah.
And you can make your own. Very easy.
Yes, this is Teresa. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Yeah, a couple questions. Because it's very, very hard for me to determine if I'm having a reaction to something I ate or not. An example is also I did have the COVID vaccine, and I did not notice any reaction. And when you say things that we eat activate the organisms, are you referring specifically to springtails and parasites? Or are you referring to the bacteria and or potentially the fungus?
Morgellons and the springtails, and perhaps depending on the type of fungal issues that you're having, they can feed the fungal issues as well. There are probably 50 different fungal problems, and not all of them are necessarily important to do the diet, although it's good to do it.
Yeah.
And, I had the vaccine and had no reaction also. So, I mean, it just because there's some ingredients in it doesn't mean you're going to have a reaction. It's just that it's possible.
Yeah, I know one person did, and she was quite surprised what happened.
Right.
I don't seem to be able to notice a reaction to foods at all. My skin seems to be doing whatever it's doing, whether I digress and have 10 grams of sugar or whether I don't.
Well, if you have 10 grams of sugar, it could take 3 to 5 days to calm things down, and you may not give yourself enough time to go backwards so that you can see the difference.
Even if I do, even if I wait a week, I don't see any difference.
Well, have you gotten to the point where you felt that the diet has kicked in for you, where you felt that there was no symptoms, no itching, no biting, or very minimal? Have you gotten to that point?
I haven't had itching or biting for 7 or 8 months.
Oh, great.
I have seen no indication of springtail, either in my environment or I have seen them coming out of my skin, and I have had
30 seconds left.
Pardon me?
30 seconds left, 25, 24.
Oh. So in any case, no. I don't believe there's any springtail. Yes, I do still have Morgellons coming out of my skin, but it's less and less all the time, finer and finer all the time. And I'm curious about, you talked about after the tub when you rub a topical on your skin and you roll that white stuff up out of your skin, which I assume is Morgellons.
3 minutes up.
I have that, but that's all I seem to have.
Well, that's probably why you can eat sugar, because, as Richard stated earlier, if you don't have springtails in stage 2 and onward, you can have sugar and it won't affect you with just Morgellons.
No, it's the other way.
Oh,
it's the other way. Yeah, you can have, if you only have springtails, you can have sugar. If you're dealing with Morgellons, it's usually a problem to have sugar. I guess there are exceptions to the rule, but that's usually a problem if you are only having Morgellons. So you were on the diet for how long now?
8 months.
Okay, and so you've noticed a substantial decrease in parasitic activity over those 8 months?
Yes.
So it's actually been working for you. The program is working for you.
Well, the thing is, I keep thinking this Morgellons stuff is going to stop coming, and it doesn't stop.
It could be springtails instead of Morgellons. I mean,
if you're getting stuff, you're talking about filaments and fibers coming out of your skin, it doesn't stop?
Yes. Yes.
And are you bathing? Are you bathing how often a day?
Usually just once a day, sometimes twice. Usually 1 shower and 1 bath a day.
Okay, and so you don't have any itching or any biting, just having the debris coming out of your skin?
Yes.
That's interesting.
And a fair amount of it, too. I'm under the care of a dermatologist right now, but I'm treading very carefully. I haven't told her I have Morgellons.
Okay.
She's treating my skin for being very, very damaged. So I want to see, how I progress with her helping me restore the barrier and heal the skin, and how that may help me. She's going to have a pathologist re-examine a biopsy that was done over a year ago. And I will gently approach with her that I could have Morgellons, but I kind of want to see where this goes. Also, I recently had a full Lyme panel that came back negative. And so my final question to you is, can I believe that? Probably not.
No, the only test I believe or put any faith in for Lyme disease is microscopy, and I think that's done by the Fry Labs, F-R-Y Labs in Scottsdale, Arizona, is where you would get that done. Send this blood sample. The others are too many false positives or negatives.
We need to open up to other people to
that's
stick with
fine.
our 3-minute time. Sorry.
Right.
Yep, that's fine. I'll keep going the way I am and see how I do.
Yes, I would just say that it's probably, since you're still having the debris coming out of your skin, I'd say you definitely want to stay away from the sugar, and maybe instead of rating your success on diminishment of itching and biting, which seems to have gone away, keep your diary and rate it on the amount of debris coming out of your skin. And adjust your diet accordingly.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Will do. Thank you, Richard.
Nick, your line is open, Nick.
How you doing, boss, Rich?
Hi, good. How you doing?
Nick.
Yes.
I got a couple questions. I'm seeing more black debris coming out of my feet, my legs, and white stuff coming out and still biting and itching. I'm basically eating eggs, spinach, pepper, just water and, eggs and, I'm trying different things. But go ahead.
What have you noticed in terms of the itching and the biting? How is that?
Oh, it's not like 1994 where the psychiatrist said eat whatever you want. No, it's not like that. Because if I eat whatever I want, I know it'll happen.
So have you noticed that you have less itching and less biting symptoms?
Well, I got to use peppermint oil at night. I got to use peppermint oil and stuff like that.
So it's more environmental still.
Yeah, I spray the car and wait 20 minutes. That helps. I wash my clothes with Pool Shock and then get a rag and put a damp rag with ammonia in the dryer.
Have you had the cabin filter?
So,
have you had the cabin filter changed in your car?
I got to change it in the rental car. Yes, I got to change it in the rental car. It's just that I've been very tired in the hospital with kidney problems now. Now it's whatever it is in your books. You said it's kind of wearing me down. To be honest with you, I'm not complaining. I'm just standing like a Marine. Who
Right.
I am. I'm suffering, but actually, for me, the psychological thing, you get to the point where you're afraid to go to bed. I don't know if you ever experienced that, but
Many times.
For me, that's the black specks
30
when
seconds.
they come out.
30 seconds, Nick.
Are they mites? Are they the white stuff is mites, or the black stuff is mites?
Well, it's hard to say. The black dots can be mites, or they could be Morgellons fibers that are very tinily clumped together. The only way to tell for certain is to put it under a microscope and see if the dot is woven filaments that are compressed together, or a dead part of a mite. The good thing is you want to get it out of your skin, but we want to make sure that that your diet is working. So the next step, I don't know if you've looked into it, because I'm not sure if the diet is actually kicked in for you yet, would be to look at utilizing one of the medications. We talked about Claritin, Claritin D. I know I'd worked for the pharmaceutical company, so that would be over the counter, or one of the medications, Orap, or which is Primazide, or Abilify would be a good one, because many of us are dealing with depression, and Abilify is for depression. But these medications have been found to reduce dopamine uptake in the brain, and that helps the diet kick in and be more effective.
Now, one more thing. Should I still bathe?
Time's up,
Should I still
Nick.
bathe?
We're trying to keep things so that everyone can ask questions. At the end, when
I just
more
want to know
people
if
have
I
asked,
should
you
still
can come
bathe
back
with
and
him.
ask.
Yes,
about
keep bathing. Bathe 3 times a day if you can. And then if no one else has a question to ask, please come back and ask more.
All right. Okay.
Thank you. Anyone else have a
No
question?
I had a question texted to me about cultured buttermilk, but I'm pretty sure that cultured buttermilk is fermented lactate, and I don't think that's on the diet.
Well, keep the diary. I think like the friendship buttermilk is okay, and I don't know if that's called cultured buttermilk or not. I'm not a buttermilk expert.
Regular buttermilk and cultured.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, anyone else text in a question or call in to Chris?
Rodriguez, your line is open.
Okay.
Hey, Richard, this is Rodriguez.
Hi.
So, so my question is, I've been noticing red, green, and gold, tiny flakes everywhere, like in my car, on my steering wheel, in my bedroom, in my clothes. Look like little, I guess, pixie dust, like flakes,
Right.
all on my carpet. And so what I did was, with my phone camera, I zoomed in on it real close, and whatever it was moving once you zoom in real close, because you can't see it moving just by looking at it. You got to zoom in on it. It was like, it was moving. Those little flakes was moving.
Okay, now, what are you using to disinfect or to kill them?
Well, I'm using like ammonia.
Is it working? Does ammonia kill them?
Well, temporary, yeah. So I mean, the thing about it, I don't know if they die or not because they're like flakes. See, and so I don't know. Is it dying? I don't know. I just mop my floor and throw and so I throw the whole towel in the trash.
You just need to figure out what is going to kill them, and you need to figure out whether if ammonia works, great. If not, then you need to. In the store, we have several other disinfectants. We have an organic one called Benefect. We have Clean 'em Up enzymes. We have Mediclean, which is a chemical disinfectant, and we have I doubt that the antimicrobial would be of any use, so it's a good thing to do anyway. But we have like 4 or 5 different things you can experiment with. This is like you have to figure out what works. And then we have ozone. You can treat the area with ozone. The best thing to do would be the electrostatic sprayer. We have a new one now. It's a Ryobi. It's about half the price of what the Victory electrostatic sprayer has been for years. The electrostatic sprayer has many advantages in that the particles are charged electrically, and they will get in crevices and places where these things might be breeding and multiplying that a normal spray might not get.
Gotcha. And I also noticed these same gold, red, and green flakes in the mall. I was walking in the mall the other day, and they was all on the mall carpet. I noticed them on the mall floor, all over the mall.
Well, I don't know. I can't speak to that. You can't obviously treat them all.
No.
So, in those cases, you want to just, wear boots.
Wear boots, yeah.
And then disinfect them when you get home.
And disinfect them when you get home. We're kind of getting away from diet questions here. We were going to be more focused on diet and maybe have questions and answers later, but, well, maybe. So, in my particular case, I have them all outside of my property. So outside where I can, I spray with Garden Safe Fungicide 3 that Robin introduced me to, and that does a good job. But if I don't spray frequently enough, or when I go out, they're going to attack my ankles and feet. And so the best way, the safest way for me is to wear riding boots. Riding boots come up about 18 inches, and basically these organisms don't jump higher than that.
Yeah.
And then you just clean them before you come back.
So if you're going in a mall and you're there and they're on the floor, get a nice pair of riding boots and wear them.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Okay. One other question, real quick. I noticed too, like in the mornings when I wake up, in my entire apartment, my whole atmosphere is cloudy. Like
that's where you want to use the electrostatic sprayer.
The other thing is an air purifier.
Right. You get a basic air purifier, but the electrostatic sprayer will knock anything out of the atmosphere. It'll just kill it. You can spray all day in a room and not get every aspect of that room. With the electrostatic sprayer, you can, in 3 minutes, you can have that whole room completely cleared.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Okay, anyone else text in or call in?
I had a text question from earlier, but it's not about diet.
Okay.
This person who I don't know who they are, they didn't give me their name, but they're finding lots and lots of black flecks coming out in their genital area and in their nose and in their ears and their eyes, and she just wants to know if that's common. And I don't know what CS spray is. She said she used CS spray, and now things are blurry to her. So I don't, colloidal silver spray. I don't know what kind of colloidal silver spray you use. Generally an eye wash with colloidal silver where you just rinse your eyes with it every 20 minutes if they're in your eyes, and it takes about 3 days to get your eyes clear.
Okay, yeah, let's weigh in on this one because we've discussed this several times in the past. Number one, unless you're on the diet and you're getting the diet to kick in for you, nothing we're going to tell you is going to make much difference. Okay, right. That's number one. Number two, disinfecting your surroundings and bathing. Those two things are important. In fact, to get your life back, it's like driving a car with not one clutch but 4 clutches, and most of us don't even know how to drive a car with one clutch. So it's doing 3 things definitely simultaneously, and that is the diet. No matter what you're noticing happening with your eyes, with your mouth and nose, the diet, cleaning your environment, getting them out of the air. I mean, like the gentleman just said, they're like cloudy. If they're in the air, you got to get them out. Air purifier, use the electrostatic sprayer, get them out. So clean the environment, clean them out of your skin, bathing 3 times a day. And if they're in your hair, we have protocols that we've discussed many times for cleaning protocols to get the things out of your hair. So now we get into, once you're doing this, then doing the colloidal silver in your eye, like Robin just said, to wash the eye and clean the eye. When we're getting into the nose, you can take the Nature's Gift and you can saturate a Q-tip or cotton, little cotton ball, and you can put them up the nose. Use some, maybe, you want to be careful if you're using any essential oils like peppermint, so you don't really burn the membranes. But you could use some eucalyptus or something like that, along with the Nature's Gift, into your nose, into your ears. We have we have Nature's Gift eardrops. You can saturate cotton with them and put them into your ears. See, you want to mimic your nose or your ears being in a bath. So you want the cotton or something there to keep that area wet and saturated so that those organisms are going to be cleaned out of your ears and out of your nose. If they're in your lungs, we talked about this before, in your bronchial system, and is use a nebulizer and put in some the saline. You get the saline little packets. You can add a drop of the Nature's Gift to that, and use a nebulizer to get it into your nose and into your mouth and down your esophagus, into your windpipe and into your lungs to clean them out. So yes, the idea is to clean them out and be aggressive with it. Anything that you do, like Robin said, every 20 minutes with the eye wash, be aggressive. Keep the Nature's Gift there as often as you can to expose the organisms to it. Now, we do have an online store. It's got the Nature's Gift, which is the best debriding thing. I got my life back without these products. We're not here to sell these products. The information we have is free. This call is free. The book is free. My reports online are free. You can perhaps find other things in grocery stores and pharmacies to do similar. In fact, the book has a list of many things that you can get over the counter that people have reported. Neosporin is one of them that have been useful. I talk about nature's gift because many people use it, and we get so many glowing reports back, and we're here because it works.
Susie, your line is open.
Oh,
Hi,
okay.
Susie.
Thank you. Hi, Richard, Robin.
Hi.
My question is, so I have been really good on the diet, and I mean perfect, for the last probably 3 to 4 weeks now. And I am doing everything good with the supplements, getting most of them from your store. And I'm on Lufeneron and Nitrogen and Abilify, and I have not felt it kicked in. I feel mites. I have mites, and I feel them kick in every day, usually at nighttime, and I've never had a day where I've not felt them. So now I'm trying to figure out with the diet, I guess I'm at the point now where I'm wondering if it's the brown rice or if it would be the spelt that would be doing it.
It could be the spelt. It could be the spelt, and it could be the brown rice. You could cut them out and for a few days. But the thing about mites is you're also dealing that you got to realize this is an insect infestation, and if your environment is overwhelming you, the diet will help, but you need to get your environment under control.
The environment's actually really good. I mean, I can sit here for a long time and not be bitten or anything like that. They're on my scalp and my nose and in my nose. So that's where they come out every time. So I've been trying all different things to try to get them off of my scalp and my nose.
Have you tried the protocol that Ethel often mentions on the call about how to deal with the scalp? What we suggest with the bathing cap?
I have, but maybe I haven't done it long enough. So that's my next step is to try to do it longer and see, because I did it for probably a couple weeks, and it's probably not enough.
It can take a couple months.
Now, did you in a couple of weeks did you notice any change whatsoever?
No, not really. No.
Did you keep your head covered?
Do you keep the bathing cap on?
Yep.
And you went outside. I mean, during the day you had the cancer cap and kept it saturated during the day as well?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
I know. They're really buggers, man. They just will not go away. But I mean, I've been just right spot on with the diet and everything, and I just am not at the point where it's kicked in, or so I'm just trying to figure out what to do.
Bad, I would go back to the beginning of stage 1, because that's the only way you're going to be able to tell. And then,
just do eggs. Just do eggs, and then add one food at a time, and then keep the diary, and then really be aggressive. Okay, so you did 2 weeks with the scalp protocol. Go for a month, like Robin said. Go for a month. I don't know if you've watched these videos that we have, but you can look at Robin, and her hair is just fine, and she had a problem in her scalp, and she got it all to grow back. With the nose, like we just talked about, do the cotton and the nature's gift in the nose, and keep it there as often as you can, as long as you can.
She'll suggest that when you add rice back in, try short grain brown rice.
Okay, short grain. All right, I will give those a shot then.
Yeah, we're here for you.
Keep
coming back and reporting to us. We know it will work. We know that you're going to get your life back. We have no doubt about that.
Great. Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.